Summer is right around the corner, and that means you don't have much time to get the body you want. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do an aggressive cut. And if you do this process correctly, you can get shredded in under a month. Now, it's worth noting there's both pros and cons to this approach, so I'm going to highlight both the positive and negative side effects to ensure we generate the best results. There are 3 non-negotiables that you have to follow in order to ensure a successful aggressive cut. First and foremost, you have to take an honest look at your physique and manage your expectations for the end of the cut. Because the potential benefits sound amazing. You'll be getting lean extremely quick, you'll have veins and striations everywhere, and your jawline will look better than ever. But you have to understand, the main risk of doing an aggressive cut is losing a ton of muscle in the process, especially if your protein and training aren't dialed in. So before you commit to doing this, I need you to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, what's your time frame and how much weight do you need to lose? And 2, are you okay with losing a bit of muscle in the process? If you're able to answer those questions and accept the possible risks, then here's exactly how to do an aggressive cut. First, let's start with your calories. Now, this is the most important part of the cut. Everything else can be dialed in, but if your calories are off, you won't see any results. Now, the deficit itself has to be around 35% from your maintenance. A normal cut will be around 15 to 20%, but since this is an aggressive cut, we have to make the deficit larger. So what I want you to do is take whatever your goal body weight is. So let's just say you're trying to get down to 175 pounds and multiply that number by 11. So in our case, that'll be 1,925 calories. That's the number you should be eating every day. It's extremely important that you don't drop below this because you'll be putting your health at risk and sacrificing a lot of muscle. Okay, so we've established that calories are the foundation, and if they're not dialed in, nothing else is going to work. But there's actually 3 other rules to this cut that, if done correctly, will minimize any negative side effects. Hands down, the most important rule you have to follow is maintaining a high protein intake. When you start an aggressive cut, your body will look for energy wherever it can find it. And most times, the first place it looks to is your muscle mass. So to avoid losing all your hard-earned muscle, you have to prioritize your protein. The general rule of thumb is you should be getting 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. The tricky part, however, is you have to do this while staying in a calorie deficit. I found the easiest way to do this is to eat 2 high-protein meals with 40 to 50 grams of protein each, and mixing in something like a protein bar or a shake in between to make sure you hit your goal. Your diet on this cut should consist mostly of stuff like lean meats, eggs, protein shakes, and stuff like apples and watermelons to keep you full. Look, it's not going to be the most enjoyable time of your life, but when you're on the beach with the 6-pack, I promise you it's going to be worth it. The second rule you have to follow is lifting weights 3 times a week. You should be doing 8 to 10 reps of movements like lat pull downs, lateral raises, and incline bench, as they'll help build that V-taper physique. Now here's a fair warning. You're gonna feel more fatigued and weaker during your workouts, but don't worry, that's normal during an aggressive cut. You just need to make sure you're continuing with your consistency, because the last thing you want is to get to the end of your cut and feel weak and small because you lost all your muscle. The last rule you need to follow is maximizing your recovery. A lot of people overlook recovery during an aggressive cut, but since you're in such a large deficit, you need to be sleeping as much as possible. Trust me, if you're not sleeping at least 8 to 9 hours a night, you'll feel incredibly sluggish throughout the day and your cognitive ability will tank. So just make sure you're prioritizing sleep, rest days, and utilizing supplements to ensure your body gets the nutrients it needs. Now, one of the main questions I get asked about doing an aggressive cut is whether or not you should be doing cardio. And this may sound controversial, but I actually think cardio hurts you more than it helps you during this phase. Because while it is true that the more cardio you do, the more calories you burn, you'll also get way hungrier and your cravings will skyrocket. So instead, I recommend doing a 20 to 30 minute walk, as this allows you to get your steps in without increasing your appetite. So there you go. Those are the 3 golden rules for an aggressive cut. And if you follow them correctly, you'll have a 6-pack before the summer even starts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I'm also going to link my Instagram in the description, so if you have any questions regarding your aggressive cut, just shoot me a DM over there and I'll be more than happy to answer. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep stacking days.